SMT Nation, we back. Nation, today we're going to be talking about AT&T and their ORAN investment with Ericsson. I want to explain to you guys what I think is the most likely reason that AT&T has moved in this direction, why I think some of the things that they've explained don't really make that much sense, and why I think this is going to be a multi-year investment and an unfortunate investment on the front end that in the long term could work out for AT&T, but in the short term has people scratching their heads. All right, link for the article from the press release back in December about this deal between Ericsson and AT&T. I'll provide that in the description box for you guys. Ways to support us can be found there as well. Please do like and share this video. Subscribe if you're new. Turn on the bell notifications icon to never miss an upload. All right, folks. So within the next couple of years, AT&T will be mostly operating through an ORAN standard. And by ORAN standard, I mean it's going to be an open RAN mix, hybrid, fusion of several different radio vendors, and it'll have this open interface type of network operations. And in and of itself, that sounds awesome. That brings flexibility and cost cutting to the mobile network operator. They get to use radios from all types of different vendors. They get to use their own custom interfaces and, scale things as kind of how they please. And that's great. And, as a company, I think that's what you want. You want flexibility, you want scalability, and you want cost savings, right? Now, in the grand scheme of things, this is the MO for AT&T. They're a company that has accrued incredible amounts of debt. I would say and argue that that is the number one reason why any of this is going on. AT&T is looking at this from a multi-year planning perspective and saying we could save money in the long term by going in this direction. I can't really think of any other way that this whole decision makes any sense. You have a ton of radio gear that has already been upgraded. I mean, just in the last year, since they've had, the ability to deploy C-band radio equipment and 77 gear for DoD and C-band and those frequencies, the network is getting pretty young. So just going in and taking all that Nokia gear and ripping it and replacing it with Ericsson gear, it doesn't have efficiencies to it. It's actually seems wasteful. So they're probably going to hold off on some of those markets that are pretty modern and wait until probably closer to 25 or 26 to do those. But at some point, we're talking about 2/3 of the network operating through this plan, through this Open RAN standard. And that's where things have to be kind of analyzed. Why AT&T chose to do this, I come back to that one thing, which it must be long-term cost savings. I've also speculated that they haven't been happy with Nokia, and AT&T has publicly said that they are fine and happy with Nokia. Nokia has echoed those sentiments, but I think that's been part of the issue. I don't think Nokia has been able to provide the type of radio gear that AT&T has wanted. I think Ericsson has probably been able to provide confidence to AT&T that they can, with multiple frequency type radios in the mid-band frequencies and things of that nature. I think that's part of it. And I think the other part of it is just, I think, and this is the one I think is the most likely, between Ericsson probably putting up some of the spending to do this whole project, AT&T covering up the other part, obviously, and I think securing the engineering talent, skill, and laboring of the company at Ericsson. I think that's all part of this. I think that's the most likely scenario. I don't really think this is about ORAN and AT&T trying to push the industry forward. I don't think so. I mean, Fujitsu's involved for now. More vendors will likely be involved post 2026, but there's no indication of who else is involved. And I don't care if it's Dell. I don't care if it's Mavenir. I don't care who's involved and how it scales. All indications, when you get into just one basket, putting all your eggs in one basket with Ericsson, it doesn't say or scream ORAN. You're choosing one vendor, and that's likely a cost benefit. Does it make the network better? Maybe. If you've got a poor performing Nokia market, if you've got an older network, it hasn't been upgraded in a while in your market, maybe this is all part of that helps you as a customer, but it is definitely a head scratcher. And I don't think AT&T has been able to properly communicate this to anyone, how it really makes that much of a difference for any customers or themselves outside of long-term cost efficiencies. What say you? What do you guys think it is? What's the likely scenario? Sound off in the comment section below. The voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard.